Today we're going to grab the humble potato, truly another one of those ingredients that are so great for us because they're heart healthy and affordable, and we create an extraordinary recipe from Spain. We're talking Spanish potato croquettes. These are known as croquetas de patatas. And let me tell you, these croquettes have a light crispy texture on the outside, with a very simple yet delicious flavor in the inside. They're made with the most basic ingredients, and all done in a little over 30 minutes. Folks, serve these potato croquettes next to some marinated olives and a couple ice cold beers. You're gonna have yourself the best moment of your day. This video is sponsored by Tienda.com. The Tienda is an online superstore focusing on selling all things Spain for your home and kitchen, and they've been around since 1996. And like I always tell you, they have the biggest selection of artisan Spanish ingredients like queso manchego, the famous jamón serrano and jamón ibérico, Marcona almonds, olives, the beautiful canned seafood from Spain, and all the spices you need to make all your favorite Spanish recipes, among so many other great ingredients. And let me tell you, when it comes to cookware, they have an amazing selection of authentic Spanish paella pans that range in size from 2 servings all the way up to 50 servings. And they even offer classic grilling systems, that way you can always perfectly cook your paella. Folks, visit Tienda.com, let them know Albert from Spain on Fork sent you there, and make sure you use coupon code ONFORK during checkout for 10% off your order. Alright, let's begin by cutting 2 medium-sized potatoes that have already been peeled, washed, and patted dry. By the way, this is 500 grams, which is a little over 1 pound. Each potato into bite-sized pieces that are 2 centimeters thick, which is 3/4 of an inch. For this recipe, I'm using Yukon Gold potatoes, but you can use whatever potatoes you like. Then we'll add the chopped potatoes into a stock pot, and you want to make sure they're all in a flat layer. And fill it with some water, just enough to barely cover the potatoes. Then we'll season generously with sea salt and heat it with a high heat. After 15 to 20 minutes, those potatoes should be perfectly cooked through. You know, you can always pierce them with a toothpick, and if it easily goes in there, but with sun resistance, they are ready to go. And I tell you, you don't want to overboil the potatoes, otherwise they're going to lose their beautiful texture. At this point, I'm going to remove the stock pot from the heat, drain the potatoes into a colander, and rinse them under some cold water. Then we'll shake off any of the excess water. Transfer the potatoes into a large bowl. And using a potato masher or a large fork, we'll mash down on the potatoes until they're semi-mashed, meaning even if you have little chunks of potatoes in there, it is okay. And I tell you, you don't want to overmash the potatoes, otherwise they're going to start to release their starch, and at the end, they're going to end up with a pasty texture. Then we'll finely shred 1 cup of cheese, which is 120 grams, and add it into the bowl with the mashed potatoes. For this recipe, I'm using a Spanish Manchego that's been aged for 6 months, but you can use whatever cheese you like. But I tell you, by using Manchego, here's what gives these croquettes that beautiful lift of Spanish goodness. Then we'll crack in 1 large egg, add in 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh parsley, which is 8 grams, and finely grate in 2 cloves of garlic. As always, if you don't have a grater, you can just finely mince them. Then we'll season generously with sea salt and some freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a mix until everything's well mixed together. And once again, you don't want to overmix the potatoes, otherwise they're going to end up with a pasty texture. For the next step, I'm going to heat a fry pan with a medium heat. Important to use a medium heat here and nothing higher. Otherwise the croquettes are going to brown too quickly on the outside and not fully cook in the inside. And I'm going to add in 1 cup of sunflower oil, which is 240 milliliters. You can use other neutral oils here, such as canola, grapeseed, or even peanut oil. While the oil is heating, let's start assembling our croquettes. I'm going to grab a spoonful of the potato mixture and squeeze it in my hands. This is to ensure that everything's well binded. And then we'll shape it into a croquette, which is basically a cylinder about the size of an egg. And we'll continue to do this until all the croquettes have been shaped. And if you see that your mixture is too wet to work with, you just add in some breadcrumbs in there and mix them with the mixture. Then we'll add in 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour into a bowl, which is 60 grams. Crack in 2 eggs into a separate bowl, and season with sea salt and whisk them together. And we'll also add in 1 cup of plain breadcrumbs into a third separate bowl, which is 130 grams. Then we'll coat each croquette first in the all-purpose flour, then into the egg wash, and finally into the breadcrumbs. You want to make sure that at each stage they're fully coated all around. Okay, let's move back to the fry pan. After about 10 minutes and that oil is nice and hot, we'll start adding the croquettes into the pan. You want to make sure they're on a single layer and evenly spaced out, so cook this in batches if you have to not overcrowd the pan. And we're going to go for about 3 to 4 minutes here until the croquettes are golden fried all around. Once the croquettes are beautifully golden fried, we'll remove them from the pan and add them into a dish with some paper towels. Then we'll add some of the croquettes into a serving dish and garnish with fresh parsley. Check it out, Croquetas de Patatas, Spanish potato croquettes. Super easy to make, the simplest ingredients, and all done in a little over 30 minutes. Let's give them a try and see how they turned out. Once again, folks, Croquetas de Patatas, look how beautiful these turned out. Here we go. So piping hot. Check that out, I have to finish this. Oh, it's too good. I'm telling you, I'm such a huge fan of croquettes because they're so easy to make and so fun to eat. You have that light crispy texture and the inside very simple yet delicious flavors, with the potatoes and manchego cheese really shining through. You saw this easy to make simple ingredients. You would try it home. Once again, there's a tapas appetizer, next to some marinated olives and a couple cold beers. You're gonna have yourself the best moment of your day. Real quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Martin Giddings, Aravinda Garimea, Robert Manhan, and Hollis Helmichi. Again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. Enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon. That way you can get notified every time I release new content and to become a part of the Spain on a Fork family. Till the next time, hasta luego.